Hello and welcome to World Business Report with me, Phillip, Hampshire. On the programme today, how one British luxury goods company is doing its bit to help the fight against coronavirus.
Could we do something with the thousands of metres of bag lining material we have on shelves? And the idea was born.
Now, being a doctor or a nurse at this moment in time, it's pretty fair to say it's a very tough job. Protecting themselves is obviously important, but PPE or personal protective equipment, things like face masks and aprons and scrubs, they've all been in short supply. So when a company retools its production line and produces good, solid, effective gear and donates them, those healthcare workers say thank you very much. It doesn't hurt when it's a high-end luxury goods company either. The particular company in question this time is Thomas Lyte. Thomas Lyte is the gold and silversmith with the royal warrant that's best known for its responsibilities in looking after football's FA Cup, the Webb Ellis Rugby World Cup and golf's Ryder Cup. But they also make leather goods such as handbags and purses and wallets, and now apparently surgical gowns and face masks. And their first batch has already been delivered. Obviously, the recipients were pretty pleased. In fact, you could say they were tickled pink, perhaps quite literally. You see, Thomas Lyte's signature colour for its linings is a difficult to describe shade of fuchsia, somewhere between a very dark raspberry and an extremely embarrassed radish. And that's intentional. Like Burberry check or Scottish tartan, the distinctive colour brands their products even from a distance. So I spoke to the founder of Thomas Lyte, Kevin Baker, and I asked him how the care workers were taking to their new distinctive kit.
Given these very difficult times, Philip, actually there was a sense of good cheer and humour about it, because the reality is functionality is all, and they certainly work. The Thomas Lyte surgical gown and all of the lovely arts and crafts flower stream, as you say, very bright pink. There was a fantastic reaction, very honestly, that it injects some, a lovely, lovely sense of joie de vivre into what is extraordinary times, really, when we look at what not only the healthcare NHS are facing, but indeed what governments, companies and countries. It's extraordinary.
Now, Thomas Lyte, you are a luxury brand. Some of the people out there who are listening to this show will be familiar with the more common names in the luxury brand industry, things like Dom Perignon, Moet, or Hennessy, or Louis Vuitton, any of those. Yours is a name that is more in a specific area because you're responsible for some of the most famous trophy work, goldsmithing, silversmithing, aren't you? Things like the various different sporting cups.
Yes, we are. So Thomas Lyte, we're an English luxury brand. We are, I guess, mostly famous for being one of the largest designers and makers of sporting trophies. So we made the 2014 FA Cup. We are goldsmiths behind the Rugby World Cup, and indeed we designed and made the number one trophy in tennis. So, and we also make leather goods.
How do you get from trophies or various different sailing cups, or if you're one of the younger listeners, a lot of the esports cups are made by you, aren't they? So how do you get from that
correct.
Across into PPE?
It is all about, I think, most individuals, most companies, and certainly, our governments. It is thinking about what can you do to help. Honestly, Philip, as an organisation that we have our Zoom company meeting a number of times a week. Half of it is about running our wonderful business, but the other half is what can we do to help? And it is absolutely vital. And something I think what is rather exciting is the very nature of a nimble SME. We can deal with challenges very quickly. And our particular example of, honestly, creating surgical gowns out of bag lining material is just one of those. But it really, to answer your question, it is we wanted to do something. And we looked at our manufacturing in terms of gold and silver, and we thought, could we make a ventilator? We clearly not the best company in terms of doing that. But a wonderful idea was put forward. given what was the fantastic challenges care homes and NHS is facing in terms of PPE, is that could we do something with the thousands of metres of bag lining material we have on shelves? And the idea was born.
Kevin Baker, founder of Thomas Lyte, speaking to me a little bit earlier on. Well, that's really all that we have time for this evening from World Business Report. If you'd like to get in touch with us, you can always send us an email to world.business@bbc.co.uk.